Namaste to all. We are continuing with celebrations of Dhanateras, Dhanvantari Jayanti, and we are going to discuss Samudra Manthana today with no other person than the most beautiful women who represented India in year 2000 and who won Miss World pageant in 2000. 1999, 2000, right?
99, doctor. It's
99,
okay.
right,
But
right.
the working year was 2000. You're right.
Yeah. So, Bhagavan Dhanvantari, as we were discussing, we are going to go into the deeper aspects of what contributed to the Samudra Manthana. So, Dhanvantari Shloka, you all would be aware of, right? Namami Dhanvantarim Adidevam Surasurair Vandita Pada Padmam Lokair Jararup Bhayam Rityunasham Dhataramisham Vividaushadinam. And we also have Dhanvantari Mahamantra. I've done a chant of this Dhanvantari Mahamantra, and you can also go into the video look into it. And if destiny allows, I pray to Dhanvantari that we keep chanting this during every Pradosha Kala. Yukta ji, aaj to Dhanateras hai, right? The 13th day, just before Naraka Chaturdashi. So this Trayodashi is celebrated at Dhanateras. So this is the day which is believed that in our Hindu mythology that the Samudra Manthana occurred on this day. And at the end of Samudra Manthana, the Lord Dhanvantari came out with his Amrita Kalasha.
Right.
You would have noticed, do you have the tradition in your birthplace or in North where they cook an avalehya which is called as Diwali Lehyam, and do you take it on the day of Diwali in the Brahma Muhurta Kala? Is there a tradition in your place?
There might be in some areas of the north, Dr. Meera, for sure, but I'm not aware of it. And in our family, it would have been lost because our family got dislocated during the partition.
Okay.
So a lot of cultural values and practices would have not been continued because they moved location from West Punjab to Mumbai.
Okay. So there is one tradition that our viewers can share whatever tradition is being followed in their state. As I belong to Tamil Nadu and in Andhra, many pockets, we prepare a lehyam called Diwali Lehyam, and that is the first medicine which we have in the morning of Diwali. Until I studied Ayurveda and until I understood Samudra Manthana, I didn't understand that could be the subtle reference of Amrita Kalash, because the day before is Samudra Manthanam, that is Dhanateras, and the morning, the day before we cook this Dhanvantari Lehyam, the morning 4 o'clock we have this Diwali Lehyam. This is one tradition which is followed in every house of in Tamil Nadu. I'm so happy to mention that. Probably, you North Indians protected us from the invasions, and our culture and tradition was saved because of all the North Indians, right? Hindi walo.
Mainly by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Yeah,
definitely. All the credit is to the Marathas.
Yeah, that was in later part, but even earlier we had lots of Mughal invasions, right? We had invasions, and Swami Ramanuja had to fight in the 1000th AD, which we have references, right? He had to walk from here. So we've been having the invasions
more than 1000 years, 1200 years.
Yeah, so probably we could save our culture and tradition a little more than thanks to you all. And we are here to even continue passing on to you. So this tradition of cooking, now I recall, Dhanvantari Lehyam is cooked and had in the morning an empty stomach. Look at the beauty. The day before is Samudra Manthana and Dhanateras is celebrated, and in the morning we have this Lehyam. Okay, let us leave it there. Let us not get engrossed into that. So there, so Dhanateras is the 13th day. So the Samudra Manthana happens on the day just before Diwali. That we have to have in mind when we do the Lakshmi Puja. In many traditions, they do the Lakshmi Puja the day before. And our staff, our clinical staff, the staff in us, they take another day holiday telling they have the Lakshmi Puja the day after Diwali.
Next day.
So we have a reason to have lots of holidays also. Okay. So let us come to the point. See, Lakshmi Puja, we understand because we believe that Lakshmi came out of the Samudra just before Dhanvantari came, and then we do the puja. That also we can understand. So this Samudra Manthana is the most complicated, most beautiful aspect which I've come across, Yukta, because It is so complicated, as we told, which keeps recurrently happening during every yuga and manvantara, and we get distracted with the whole concept that we forget the purpose of Samudra Mantana, which is nothing but the evolution, the avatarana of Lord Dhanvantari. Why am I again pointing out that we have forgotten is because this Samudra Mantana happened during which kalam? Pradosha kalam. Okay.
Right.
What happens during Pradosha kala in India? You tell me, Yukta. What do we do during Pradosha kala?
Mostly we are chanting the name of Lord Shiva, or we are doing Vishnu Sahasranama.
Yeah. So Pradosha kala, yeah. Pradosha kala happens every day. That is in the evening time.
Correct.
When Narasimha is worshipped. Pradosha kala, every month it comes twice. On those days, every Shiva Bhakta goes to the Shiva temple and does the puja of Lord Shiva, because that was the time. What happens during Samudra Mantana? Lord Shiva comes and collects the Visha, and Parvati Devi comes and
drinks it too.
Yeah.
And she asks him to hold it in the throat only.
Yeah. When we Indians make it a point to worship Narasimha because he came out during Pradosha Kala. We Indians go to a Shiva temple to worship Lord Shiva because he came as Nilakanta and stopped the Visha. Why did he come and drink the Visha? Because Dhanvantari is going to come. We all have forgotten this Dhanvantari. Right? How sad is it? See, for me to realize this itself, it has taken such a long time. During Pradosha Kala, whenever you're going to do Narasimha Panaka, when you're going to give it to Samarpana to God, when you go to a Shiva temple and do your Pradosha Archana, don't forget that the purpose of Nilakanta coming out and drinking the Visha was for the Amrita to come later. And the history doesn't stop there. If you're just going to do your Vrata for Pradosham, your physical health is not going to get complete. Okay? Have all the aspects of Samudra Mantana you have to have in your mind and pass it on to your kid. Don't stop with just Ekadashi Vrata or Pradosha Vrata, and continue and finish off it with Dwadashi and Puja too. Puja. Again, as I tell you, it's not merely putting flowers. Understanding the concepts of why Dhanvantari came and with what avatarana did he come. What all did he have in his hand? These have to be had. Okay. So, let us start with how did this Samudra Mantana occur? In what kala it occurred? Okay. So, Yukta ji, you would be aware that there are 4 different gods for every yuga. Right? Every yuga, there are 4 different gods, and for every manvantara also there are different gods, and these gods are nothing but Vishnu Swarupam himself.
Right.
I'm not going into the details of what are the classifications of manvanta, what are the classifications of yugas. Okay, in which yuga we are there, we all know it is Kali Yuga. Okay, but in the 6th manvantara called Chakshusha, the deity was called as Ajita. Okay. So, who are these forms of God? They are nothing but Vishnu Swarupam. Why Vishnu? Because he is the protector. Brahma also comes from this Ranganatha Swarupam, and they are all creators, while Vishnu is the God who is going to protect you, and Lord Shiva is the God who is going to destroy you. So, you have 3 concepts here, right? Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. This we have to have in mind that they are nothing but Vata, Pitta and Kapha, which we'll discuss in the later episodes, who create, who protect and who destroys. So this creator is called as Ajita, and in which Manvantara? In Chakshusha Manvantara. You find this reference in Bhagavata and also in Ramayana it is there. I am speaking out from the reference of Bhagavata, Canto 8, Chapter 8. Okay?
Okay, ma.
He is called as Ajita and he is form of Mahavishnu. So what happens? You know, you would have heard about Indra, Lord Indra, right? What is his?
Yes, of course.
And he is considered to be the head of
all the devatas.
Devatas. And in our body of the 5 sense organs.
Senses, right? Correct.
And he is always mocked at to the maximum in our Indian Puranas, right? He is always mocked at. Why is he mocked at? The 5 sense organs in our faces, right? How distracted we get to the external world. That is why the Indra is mocked, because we have the Indriyas. We have the representation of Indra in our body, right? We get so carried away. We get carried away by sounds. We get carried away by smell. We get carried away by mouth, right? So this Indra he always misuses his sense organs, just as we humans. See, we all know that Samudra Mantana is considered to be the fight between the good and the bad of thoughts in our own mind. Okay, we accept that we have two extremities in our mind, right? We are not ashamed of that. We get negative thoughts on seeing something, with positive thoughts on seeing something. So at the conscious level, we have three levels in which the Samudra Mantana can be understood. One,
Okay.
which authentic Puranas tell that the whole of the cosmos itself generated during the Samudra Mantana.
Right.
All the planets and all the things which are the Chitta and the Achit, the Chetana and the Achetana, which are moving and the non-moving, which have life and which have no life. The plants and animals, everything in the cosmos is understood to have got generated during the Samudra Mantana, which many scientists, our Indian scientists, tell that it's like the formation of the galaxies and the solar systems. Right? That is one part of which is the supernatural, super cosmic level. The second level is the mano level, where the fight between the good and the bad keeps occurring. Okay, these two levels, you will find lots of references across the website, and we have great upanyasakas and rishis and teachers who explain about this. The third level is the Ayurvedic level, which as a Vaidya, when I look at the Samudra Mantana, I have different understanding of the procedure itself. And I believe that all the 14 things which come along with Lord Dhanvantari are nothing but different aspects or different drugs which are required for a proper treatment, which has been explained in Ayurveda, which has originated before Lord Dhanvantari has appeared. That is what
beautiful.
Yeah. That
Please
is what,
share with us.
That is what I feel as an Ayurvedic Vaidya, but I leave this topic to the great teachers who are present in India, great rishis and upanyasakartas, and I would want them to examine this again to understand if what understanding I tell appears to be right. I also leave it to the allopathic doctors, because when I look at the concepts are so beautiful. So much of allopathic sciences and techniques which we are following nowadays, these also find a reference here. Okay, so Yukta ji, आप बताइए सारे वस्तुएं जो समुद्र के बाहर से आए, और मैं बताऊंगी कि क्या क्या हो सकते हैं वो सब. मेरे हिंदी कैसे है?
बहुत सुंदर है आपकी, स्वच्छ हिंदी है, शुद्ध हिंदी है.
आपको तो तमिल भी सीखना पड़ेगा हमारे साथ.
सीखेंगे बिल्कुल, हमारे पूर्व जन्म में हमने सीखा होगा, इसीलिए हमको वापस पुनः अगला जन्म अगर लिए तो तमिल ब्राह्मण फैमिली में आएंगे हम.
My God. Okay, yeah, let us go to the concept. Okay. So let me tell.
So we can start with either we can start with the Panchajanya Shankha, or we can either start with the Chandrama.
Okay.
I'm not going as per sequence.
Yeah. Yukta ji, before we going into the sequence of what all things came and what could be the correlation in the cosmic level and at the body level. So what happened and what happened to this Indra? Why did Lord Dhanvantari had to come? See, Lord Dhanvantari, we believe that he is Mahavishnu himself. Why could Mahavishnu himself not protect? Right? What happens is, Lord Indra, he has this habit of misusing his senses and losing his common sense very frequently. So it is told in Bhagavata that when Durvasa Maharishi gives him a garland out of respect, his Airavata elephant tramples the garland. Okay. And on seeing this, Durvasa Maharishi gets angry and curses him that may he lose all his Sri Tattvam. Sri is all his ojas, all his energy. Yeah, auspiciousness. So along with Indra, the whole of the Devatas lose the energy. Okay. So when your sense organs lose your energy, your Devatas are there in all parts of your body. So when your Buddhi loses your common sense, when the intellect is lost, the whole of your body gets sick. So what does Indra do? He goes to Lord Brahma and asks what has to be done. I'm telling as per the 8th skanda from 8th canto in Bhagavatam. Okay. So Brahma tells, this is beyond my capability. Let us go to Ajita, who is the ruler, who is the prime deity of this Dhanvantara. And in Bhagavata, there's a reference which tells Ajita belongs to this lokam which is full of tamas. Okay. That word is there. See, one aspect here you have to understand, Yukta, always we speak of, we need to have sattva gunam and rajas and tamas, we create so much of anger and disgust towards rajas and tamas.
Yeah,
That
there's
is,
antipathy as if they are the enemies. That's not
Yeah.
the case. It's
Yeah.
not true.
That's not true. That is the sample itself is Ajita, who is the deity of Chakshusha Manvantara, is the lokam. The lokam in which he is there is full of tamas. Okay. So it doesn't mean that tamas in the appropriate ratio is important, rajas in the appropriate ratio is important, and sattva in the appropriate ratio is important, so that we are in health. So you have one reference for that. So he goes to this Tamologam and they all fall and they praise Lord Mahavishnu, Ajita, in very beautiful shlokas. We have to go through it. We don't have time once. So, and Ajita examines and he tells that he asks medicine. Doctor, give me a prescription. Dr. Ajit is the doctor over there. Doctor, you give me a prescription is what Indra asks. Ajit does not want to take up this case. He refers him to Lord Dhanvantari. So I always wonder, why did this doctor does not, he does not want to take up this case. You will find that in practice, Yukta, not just with an Ayush doctor, with an allopathy doctor also. At times, they will not give you the prescription so easily. Okay, they will ask you, because for many reasons, it's the behavior of your mind. It could be your mind. You think, you come up with this attitude, or it could be it could be an error in your soul, or it could be an error in your thought process. Okay. And in one prescription, I cannot tell you all the flaws which you are going through. Or it could be an error of your diet also. I will tell you, Yukta, stop chilies. Okay. Stop chilies and you will lose acidity. The next time you will not come to me. You will change the doctor. Right? I tell you, Yukta, I found out the reason that the problem with you, your mindset is because you keep finding fault with your wife. Okay. And you think that it is a fault of your wife, but it's a fault with you. Okay. If I'm going to tell that the fault is with your mental capacity, then you're not going to come to me again. Okay. So at times the doctor has to, so now, see, is the doctor wanting to get money from you, or is the doctor wanting to get cure from you, is another question which you have in mind, right?
Absolutely. What is the intention?
Yeah, that also, patients get very angry on allopathy doctors nowadays. The whole blame game is on allopathic, including allopathic doctors. You ask me to take an X-ray, you ask me to take a scan, you ask me to take a blood test. Yeah, I was speaking of the intention. You start doubting the doctor whether there are most probably 99% doctors, whatever system he belongs to, do not err. The patient gets angry that the X-ray or scan, the doctors get so much of percentage and he wants to get money. I don't think that should be the way by which you should always judge a doctor. Always doctors do not do that. Okay? Basically, the doctor want to examine, and this day, in this time of living in 21st century, there are 99% of patients want immediate relief. They want to find the problem now. And with a huge practice, he may have to put you into different examinations also. So don't blame the doctor with, blindfoldedly. Okay, that is one thing. So here Ajita could have given the prescription. Why did he give the prescription? He asked the patient to go to Lord Dhanvantari, because this condition, Ajita, we are not to doubt Ajita. Here he knows that Indra keeps repeatedly erring with his sense organs. This disease is not an emergency condition. This requires a long time approach of yoga, abhyasa, and vyayama. That is exercise where your mind has to come into focus, and where his physical fat has to be burned. And he has to really get tired to such an extent and feel sorry for the error of having disrespected Durvasa, and just means it was just a garland, yeah. Just a garland. Can't you get another garland? That was a prasada of Vishnu, which Durvasa gives, okay? So he is decided in this manmantra that he is going to take a big lesson for this patient, okay? So he's not going to get. So you better have a good patient and listen to the doctor immediately and find out your faults and correct, so that you get all right with the first prescription. Okay, so he sends it. And my God, the shlokas. So what he has to do is first to take the big mountain, right? He has to carry this mountain and then take it to the samudra. And this mountain he is unable to carry. The whole devatas, they all try to push the mountain. Yeah. So the Mandara Parvatam, he has to put it as the churning rod, like our Dadi churner. Now the devatas are not ready to, they don't have the energy to take it and also go. You write a prescription, you're not able to procure a drug. What happens? So he again goes and falls in the feet of Ajita and pleads, I am not even able to take the rock. What does Ajita do? The god himself, he comes in along with his Garuda and carries this mountain and he places in the Samudra. Isn't it so beautiful? He could have just gone away, right? The doctor doesn't leave his Ajita. Now, this is not a Hindu god. He's punishing you. He's not punishing you. He gave you the way. He asked you to do it. And the patient tells, no, I can't do. When you tell that you can't do, then he gives again the prescription, right? Such a beautiful aspect. So he carries the Parvata and comes. Now he has to churn it. Of going and getting the Vasuki Sarpa. Vasuki Sarpa, he does not have the energy to carry it at all, right? What does God ask us to do, Ajita? He asks you, the Devas to be on the left and the Asuras to be. He asks to take the help of Asuras. Okay. So, when you have the Shadari in your mind, right? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsarya. We just have 10 minutes left. You have the Shadari. How will you come out of this? Right? You have lots of people, rishis and siddhas, who tell that just keep observing whatever thoughts come in your mind during meditation. You get too much of romantic feelings. You get a thought of stealing. You get a thought of hating. You get that your wife or your husband, your mother-in-law, your son, everything is bad. Everyone is bad. And you are the only good person. Keep observing your thoughts, right? Don't, because you have to live with your body and mind. You can't run away from your thoughts, right? So it is very natural to have this negative thoughts, and you have to take help of these negative thoughts to come out of your positivity. The first prescription, Yukta ji, is to first accept that you have a problem. Okay? When you accept that you have an issue, but not accepting and not giving the weight of the acceptancy to push you down into the ground. You have to accept that there is a weight to lift it up and walk. Understand? If you don't accept that there is a 50 kilo weight on you, you just, and how are you going to get the muscle strength to build up the muscles and carry? Acceptance of the error doesn't mean that you are getting defeated. Okay, acceptance that negativity exists in your mind. Everybody tells in Hinduism that is the beauty. You know that you have to create. You know that you have to destroy. You know that you have to protect. At times you have to destroy. At times you have to kill negative thoughts. Don't feel sorry for killing negative thoughts. Don't think that it's himsa. It is ahimsa only. It's not an himsa to kill. Okay. Right. So he puts the devas and the asuras. He asks him to seek help from the asuras, and then with the Vasuki Sarpa, they start to churn. They are unable to churn. Again, they ask help of Ajita. Ajita, they tell, he himself takes the roop of Nidra and Moha and goes into the Vasuki Sarpa, because the Vasuki Sarpa is getting hurt and it is bleeding and it is also unable to do the mantana. So, Lord Vishnu, that is Lord Ajita, he becomes the energy in between into the Devatas, into the Vasuki Sarpa also he flows, and into the Mandara Parvata, the whole Parvata he stays, and the Parvata is falling down. They want some base. Look at it. This is all medicine and therapies. The medicine is going to break down. I am unable to take. What does Lord Ajita do? He comes and takes the Kurma avatar to support the Mandara Parvata. Who is facing all the pains also he is taking up for his Bhakta's case. But he's not going to make you give up. You have to fight. He will be there supporting, and you have to fight against the evil and come out. That is the secrecy of universe itself, right? He doesn't allow you to fall, but he will see that you come out of it with the own effort. So they keep doing this, and during this process, he keeps overseeing. Ajita stands by the side and he keeps overseeing this, seeing this process. Probably people who have got admitted in an ICU know this, right? You have the doctor overseeing you. You have the lots of needles which go. For an Ayurveda doctor, oh my God, they do the vasti. You take one kashaya vasti, you will go to the next loka and come back. You know, the life will just like the soul will go through so much of experiences. Kashaya vasti. Vamanam you do. My God, we will make you drink at least 7 to 8 glasses of this liquid and make you vomit. The smell of Madana Phala, it's horrible. You will feel like, why the hell am I admitted in this Panchakarma center? My God, the effects of it, we keep watching you, right? We keep watching you. We keep checking your BP, your pulse, and your nadi of your Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So anybody who has experienced intense treatments in allopathy or in as an ICU or Panchakarma knows what is this treatment. Okay. Now what happens? So after they do this churning for yugas and yugas and yugas, so much of effort is required for certain diseases. So much of effort is required for certain disease. The period, you have to wait. Okay. After he does that, then these 14 things come out and you can read out the list, Yukta ji, and we can explain as to understand what these are.
Yes, doctor.